Welcome back. There is a live look outside from the Oregon coast. That's a gorgeous view from our Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel camera in Lincoln City. Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. It's an often debilitating disorder that is widely misunderstood and trivialized. Here to share the truth about obsessive compulsive disorder, also known as OCD, we welcome back licensed professional counselor Christine Babinec. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
This is a good one to talk about because it does affect so many people, but a lot of us don't understand what we're talking about.
Well, I think it's been in popular culture, lots of TVs and TV shows and movies and things like that. And so we get these portrayals, or even now that people kind of know a little bit about it, they want to claim it like, oh, I have a little bit of OCD.
Right.
But OCD is a very serious mental health condition. And ironically, it's probably underdiagnosed, but people want to claim it. So it's kind of
Very
a funny dichotomy there.
But like you said, it is serious, but there is good news that it's treatable and actually curable.
It is curable,
So
yes.
great.
And I don't know why people don't talk about that more often.
Yeah.
You know, I just had someone say, you know, they've worked with a therapist who said, well, you're just going to always have to live with these urges or these compulsions. And that is not true. That is inaccurate information. And I think that there are a lot of therapists that need some more training on what OCD is and what's the difference between being a tidy person or someone who wants to wash their hands and someone who can't leave their house because they have to keep checking things.
Okay.
So there are some pretty major diagnostic criteria, like, you know, it has to take more than an hour of your day, right? It has to interfere with your relationships, make it difficult to do your work, or you know, have a social life. So it's really not just what we see in the TV and movies.
Well, and you kind of separate to the obsessions and the compulsions. Those are different parts of it.
Yeah, and they often form a cycle.
Sure.
So typically what will happen is people will start to have an obsession, right? And the most common one that people are aware of because of TV and movies is, you know, contamination. So I'm going to wash my hands, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Someone without OCD, if they had a little sticky stuff on their hands, or you know, were out hiking all day, can wash their hands and go on about their day.
Yeah.
Someone with OCD has to continue to repeatedly wash and wash and wash and wash and wash, sometimes until they remove the skin off their hands. And most people with OCD know that the obsessions that they have are irrational or unreasonable. And so they're loath to kind of talk about it, and that's probably why it's you know, more undiagnosed than it should be.
That makes sense, that it feeds into a cycle where I know this isn't right, but I still feel the compulsion to do it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to hide it as best that I can.
Exactly. So we start off with the kind of obsessive thoughts, whatever they are. They're typically around contamination or safety-related issues, harm to self or others. We know that it's irrational. We try and resist it, right? And then we can't resist it anymore, so we do some sort of compulsion to try and alleviate the overwhelming, I want to stress this, people have overwhelming distress. And maybe that compulsion will take the edge off for a little bit, but then it starts the cycle again.
Right, exactly. If you keep feeding that, it's going to keep coming back over and over again. How should someone know or think about reaching out for help?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, there's tons of online quizzes. If people suspect, oh, I think I might have OCD. It really is taking a lot of my time. It really is interfering in my relationships. You know, NOCD, there's a national organization for OCD. They have some quizzes. We have here locally, we have a couple of group practices that are focused on OCD. But I will say that a lot of folks, even the folks that I've worked with before who haven't been diagnosed with OCD, rather they were diagnosed with, say, generalized anxiety disorder or acute anxiety. Again, probably the therapist isn't asking the right questions and are using techniques that would maybe apply to anxiety. But if you're not getting the results, then you probably may need to ask, as a therapist, further questions around OCD behavior.
What would treatment look like for someone walking in for the first time, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's one of the other difficult things is people with OCD are aware that the treatment is going to be a little bit tough, but I want to reassure them. And actually, I'm going to self-disclose. So I had OCD as a kid. and I got treatment.
Okay.
Totally cured.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want people to know
Yeah.
that that is a real thing. I haven't been able to have a diagnosis of OCD for over 35 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's so wonderful.
So you do not have to live with obsessions or compulsions the rest of your life. The front line, the single best treatment for OCD is called ERP, and that stands for Exposure and Response Prevention Therapy. And so what you have to do is gradually, thoughtfully, and a therapist will lovingly, kindly, gently help you do this.
Yeah.
Tolerate the distress of the obsession without enacting the compulsion.
Ugh, that sounds so difficult.
It is, but it's liberating.
Yeah, of
the
course.
amount of time you get back for yourself. The things that you no longer check. And what I also tell people is like, and you get to use the features sometimes of that thing for yourself. So I always say, I'm gonna have a little fun with my OCD. I'm gonna clean out this closet over here.
I love that.
Right? So just using it for your own benefit rather than it kind of ruling your life.
Really quickly,
Yes.
EMDR, can that be therapeutic as well?
It can.
Okay.
Sometimes there may be something else going on alongside the OCD, or that maybe has instigated the OCD, that also needs to get treatment behind the scenes.
Interesting.
So sometimes there are some protocols through EMDR, and there are a couple other treatment protocols for OCD, but honestly, exposure and response prevention therapy is the front line, and then if we're not getting results there, which would be very, very rare, we may look at EMDR or a couple other things.
And just talking about it, like you said, we've got to break the stigma that this is treatable and curable, and that is so exciting to hear.
It is. It's wonderful. I mean, it's probably what drew me into going into therapy in the first place, is seeing that, oh my gosh, I can get relief. I don't have to live like this.
Yeah. The
How
resources
fantastic.
are there.
I want to help other people.
I was going to say the resources and the people who want to help you are waiting.
Yes.
And it's hard, but you can take that first step.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Great chatting with you,
Yeah, you
as
too.
always. Okay, we will have more about Chris on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.